messy. Try not to my messy table. Right, I think that will have to be. This is where my laptop usually goes when I work. Okay, we'll leave it like that, I think. So I was explaining this to somebody, and I feel like it's a bit relevant for at the moment. We have a series of dots. This is what I got from my guide. We have a series of dots that have been for certain people in power, right? Not all, but certain people. And these are organized situations that are planned way ahead of time. And what they do to keep people on their toes, because they're trying to move forward with a plan, right? Because they're rushing us forward into a certain situation. And I don't know, I was just thinking on it, not particularly too much, but I suddenly got this picture, and my guide said to me how they do it is when they're implementing this, they distract you with that as they're implementing the next step. So let's put step 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Then, and so forth. And they implement this all the way along. So whatever is in that today, you should always focus on really what was in last week or last month. And it was quite evident about if you remember, in America, there was a huge party balloon, shall we call it that? Party balloon situation that was going on. But what we needed to focus on was what happened, I think, 14 days ago with a certain incident of the mushroom, which went off in a certain state. So bear that in mind, that their plan is always to move forward, and these are set in place. My guide said to me, set in place, okay. And how they manage the population and the masses is by always showing outrage. So these people will always show that at the thing behind, the thing that's already happened. And I thought it kind of, made sense to me. And you think, yeah, but how is that beneficial to the people that have worked for them? Because you're kind of setting light to the people that have implemented the things in the past. Well, that's okay, because our eyes aren't on the future incident, and whatever outrage we feel here is going to diminish and dissipate when we find out the new incident that's about to take place. So the new thing. The new things always dissipate the outrage that we felt because we're distracted by the new things. And so instead of that outrage continuing and staying on and people going to prison, they don't go to prison because there's always a new thing to be shocked at. And the populace always moves forward with the distractions or with the plan. And that's how they get away with it. And I was told they get away with that. They've gotten away with that for a very, 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 very long time. And that's why people will turn around and say, how come nobody goes to prison? Well, nobody goes to prison because everyone's always distracted then by the next thing in the agenda. But they always distract us also with things that have gone on in the past while they slip in something new. And then that new thing comes along and then we're like, oh my goodness, and we forget about the past outrage. So we're always behind ourselves if we're not careful. Anyway, with that in mind, I know it's kind of, for a lot of you, it's stating the obvious, isn't it? I've not done any readings on the UK or anything else for a very long time because it always says the same thing. And the same thing is, this is going to get far worse before it gets better. I've always been told that you have, if you've gotten on to the silver buying, that you need to hold that for quite a while, like a long while. I sort of got in my mind, we're talking years. So whilst a lot of people are expecting sort of, oh, can't wait, silver's going to go up, I'm thinking you're going to have to wait a while yet, because we're going to go through quite a lot of turmoil before we get to that place. Now, I'm going to do a reading. Why not? Hey, just a fairly quick one. And let's look for America and the UK. I keep plumbing it, for my Mexico reading. Pardon me. Sorry, I've been ill. I was right. Was I not right? And also, was I not right as well about Taiwan? So I said not to worry. People not to worry. China wasn't going to suddenly go in and invade. Mind you, not that we're particularly going to know exactly anything that's really going on there. But anyway, so I did say they were going to be all right. They're not going to worry. And in the future, long-term future, things are going to get better for them. I did say that there was going to be a huge something to do with justice system in Mexico, not Mexico, Brazil. Sorry, Brazil, and blow me down. Hasn't that been the case? With hardship comes waking up, and people have been outraged. A lot of them don't really know what they're being outraged at, but there is that, and they've been having huge people gatherings. Okay, that's shuffled enough. Right, UK. Now let's do America, because most of the people that are follow me are American. Splattering of other people. Put in the comments section if there's a country you'd like me to do a reading for. But this is going to be for America. So we're looking at America in just over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so this is going to be America. Ooh, coming together. This is always the harvest time. Things coming to fruition because they're celebrating after a huge harvest. So, and you may kind of say, oh, well, how's there a huge harvest in America right now when so many things are happening? But what it means is you're coming up to you're coming up to a point, a high point, and I would just leave it as that, because the situation is you're being given with aces of wands, we're talking, and it's spring actually. So this wands is spring, and it is, well, it is here anyway in the UK, and we're talking boldness, powerful. There's a lot of drive and a lot of ambition. It's very powerful. Oh, this is the past. Yeah, so things were starting to happen. I absolutely on a new path, things manifesting, and the present atmosphere is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is all about confident, determined, and independent. Basically on fire. Oops. Yeah. But it's also about showing strength and intuition and being instinctual and wise. Okay, so what is near future? So, right, I always view this as a positive card because this guy is a goody guy, and he's taking away the chaos of 5 and leaving the 2 of balance and choice, and that is the near future. Ooh, that's good. Okay. I don't do reversals. So here we have nines of fruition. Things are coming to fruition here. There's going to be progress, attainment, and completion. It's going to be, something is going to be attained, or the people are going to reach a full fruition of the progress that is coming. And to clarify the situation with the Ace of Wands, so here we have the 8, accomplishment. A lot's going to be accomplished because people view this as her surrounded by swords, and she doesn't know which way to turn, and she's in bondage. But actually this card is the card of how do I've completely lost track now. This is the initiate. This is the advancement card. The initiate in Freemasonry is, she's bound and hoodwinked. She's leaving past beliefs behind, moving forward to the singular sword in front, the new way of thinking. And the initiate card is always stepping into the new. So something is being offered, a new form of energy into going into something new. That's I mean, we know that, don't we, really, anyway? And it's quite a positive in that balance is going to come, chaos is going to be taken away. And it's going to happen with the advice card here, where we can see it is going to come to a fruition. So fruition means it's going to come to a head. And so yeah, we'll have to do a further reading on the USA to work out what that's going to be like. What is that? But it seems very positive to me. But something new is going to be stepping in. Now to the UK. Let's see how that is going to work. Each country is experiencing different things. So let's see how this one goes. Just a short for the UK. Ooh. People are feeling the tension, and they're all feeling it from different things. And there's a barrage of things that people have been talking about for a while, and they have been appearing. So there's a lot of stress and anxiety around there. But anyway, this is the UK. Right, so with the Page of Swords, he's a hurrah sort of guy. A bit more confident. Him and the wands. Him and the wands are probably more confident of the pages. So he's a hurrah sort of person. Okay. The situation is people keeping it to themselves. People are sitting and dwelling on their emotions a bit here. She's very protective of what she has. So there's a lot of emotion bubbling on the bubbling within is what I'm getting. In the past, we had the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands is pursuing an idea. He does tend to go where others fear. Quite impulsive, enthusiastic, ready for action. I think the people of the UK are, because he's not a queen and he's not a king, he's a knight. So he is kind of, people are getting ready, or something is getting ready. But there are things that are bubbling underneath. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Then we've got the general atmosphere is the Page of Wands. So he's looking up at this energy that he's holding, and sorry, he's staring in wonder at this challenge that's coming ahead. Very mature, but young, but the wand is fixed in the ground. He hasn't yet worked out what to do with it, doesn't really understand it, but the people are kind of gathering themselves is what I'm feeling. I think in the past, I think we can see that people, the population, you're round one, you're getting ready for round two. Yes, my guides said, yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. So with the near future, there's work to be done. And I think we know that. We've got clarifying the querent here. That's us, the UK. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Oh, a lot of young, immature energy here. So, yeah, with the Page of Pentacles, we're looking at, again, it's slightly immature. You know you've been given this gift. It's an earth sign. You're learning about stuff. You're need a bit more confidence in where you're going to go. So a lot of confidence is needing to be had. Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles clarifies it. Gosh. So a lot of maturity needs to happen. We know we've got to do something, but we're not quite sure what. We acted in self-defense with round one, but we've got round two coming. I don't think I've ever seen 3 pages of wands in a small spread before. Clarifying. It's about control. So this clarifies here. Yeah, we're definitely, I would say this is about, I think, to clarify this, we're trying to keep control of our independence. That's how I see that. This clarifies the situation. Now, you could say they're trying to control us. Either way, it works out the same way. They're trying to control us and we're trying to keep control. But in the near future here, there's a lot of work to be done. And the advice card is to hold. This is Pentacles are always about human values, what we value in life. It's about the material world, the physical world. It's about the body and health, stability and practicality on this earthly plane. And the advice is hold it dear, hold it carefully, because it's incredibly powerful, incredibly important. And so this page is lifting up, going, oh, heck, you know, this is a huge task. And what's being asked of you is to remember that the near future, a lot of work has got to be done. So, yeah, I think that kind of sums it up really well. I'm trying to think if there's any other reading to do at the moment. I'm not really au fait with any of the other countries. So let's ask Guide one last thing. What is it? What is it that my guide wants to say? And I believe my guide is my higher self, my oversoul, basically because I got pictures stating that, and my guide's never lied to me. But let's have a little look at what advice does my guide want to tell all of us at the moment. Well, how many cards shall I do? How many cards shall I do? Okay, I'm going to do 3. Past, present, and future. Ooh. Past, present, future. Okay, lovely. I quite like this. So in the past, the advice has always been to, I mean, let's look at the Queen of Cups quickly. She's compassionate, caring, emotionally stable. She's in the flow of her emotions quite a lot, but she keeps her feelings hidden. She has her boundaries set, not as clear as the King does, but she's aware of her subconscious feelings. So a lot is whirling around there, and she's very protective. So the advice was to be, you know, that you hear them, what they're called in America, mother bears. So this is a classic example of a mother bear. And we were to be protective. Did we do it? That's, you know, people's own perception of how well did we do it. But that was the advice. For the present, this is a great card. It's not a bad card. It's a great card. Don't ever think it isn't, because it is. This man is symbolically lying down, yes, because he's in the, I know it's a 10, but 10 is about end of a cycle, starting a new cycle. So it's kind of encapsulating the end of a cycle, but the beginning of a new one. It's rebirth. And he's starting again with the 10 swords in his back, because they are lessons learned. I know some people call them like the chakras and all of that. I don't personally. We have the dark clouds above, but there is light in the future coming. The sunlight is coming over the hill. And so with the past lessons learnt, because they are behind him on his back here, every one of these is right. We've worked out how they're doing it. We've worked out why they're doing it. We've worked out ways that we've been able to kind of sabotage things. We've, you know, these are all lessons now that we have learnt with in the past from the first stage of the battle. Be confident. That's what this is saying. Be confident in our abilities. We can push back. So going into the future then, oh, good grief, all the pages are coming out. So with the Page of Cups here, water is all about abundance, emotions, the soul, heart, intuition. It's about summertime. So we could say this is the summertime coming. And the page of, I mean, a lot of people have actually been talking about June and July, September, and that things are going to come along in that time. So what's the advice? Sorry, I say a lot. I do try not to, but I'm a bit of a dippy girl, so it ums away to kind of fill a gap while I'm thinking. So with Page of Cups, here we have a young and inexperienced, open and imaginative young man. Although he's inexperienced, he's got a lot of imagination. So we're being asked to use our imagination, be curious, be inspired by all the things that are around us, and be optimistic. This is a really good card going into the future for all of humanity. Lessons have been learned. Be optimistic. All right, I'll leave that there. And we'll thank you for watching if you've watched. Bye.